Gautam Mukherjee, meanwhile, with us. Sumitra Goenka joining us. And Major Mohammed Ali Shah on the broadcast with us on as well. Major Shah, let me come to you. So it is Easter Sunday. I was just telling our viewers, okay, and it's a sometimes we get lost and aren't able to communicate anecdotal stories well, which actually represent our lives. So the first time I went to the Sacred Heart Cathedral, I was still in school, and my school was nearby. It's not St. Columbus, but it's nearby. And I remember I had to go to St. Columbus to put some posters for a debate we were organizing in school, and I was with a Muslim friend of mine who's the daughter of a very well-known politician. And on the way out of St. Columbus, we stopped by to this church. So a Hindu and a Muslim went to a church as students. Right across the road from this church, of course, is the Bangla Sahib Gurdwara, where I've been several times as well. We always find these topics of conversation when there's some problem going wrong, but actually in day-to-day life, these are all very normal things, Major Shah.
Absolutely, Rishabh. These are very, very normal things. And I would like to cite one thing. When I was posted in the Northeast in Nagaland, 100% Christian straight. 100%. I mean, being a Naga itself means you're a Christian. And I used to go to Mizoram very often. Mizoram, again, 100% Christian. So it's a very, very normal thing. I mean, people, and what is actually surprising is the revelation that no prime minister has ever been to a church. I mean, I have to ask this to myself 10 times. Are you sure? When you spoke on this, I said, no, it can't be. I'm aghast. I'll tell you one thing. A video, a photograph had got viral last year when Lieutenant General Pandey, who was GOC 15 Co in Srinagar that time, he was there in a mosque for a namaz along with Sikh officers. So I mean, it is a Sikh, Hindu, a Muslim. Every single officer was there.
I think it's called, what's it called? It's called the MMG, right? If I'm not mistaken.
That's right, Rishabh. Mandir, Masjid, Gurdwara, the Sardharm Sthal. In fact, so it's a very normal thing to do, and I am surprised. Why no? Now I will give an answer to people who you are talking about who would say it's because elections are coming up for votes. I would say two things. Firstly, it's a good sign that he's gone there. He's gone to a church. Well, one can get into why not a mosque, why not this, why not that. But the very fact, kya khush nahi hai, is baat say that he's going to church. Should be happy for that. Should see it very, very positively. Secondly, yeah, I mean, come on. People, if aap agar doctor hai, you would be curing patients. Aap agar fauj mein hai, you would be in the border or you would be safeguarding our frontiers. आप अगर एंकर हैं, you would be doing your show. Similarly, आप अगर politician हैं, अगर आप नेता हैं, so what? Firstly, it may not be for elections. Secondly, to put everything back in perspective, even if people say it is for votes, I say, अगर अच्छा काम हो रहा है, so what? I remember when he was cleaning a beach and there were photographs of it and people were making fun of it. That, oh, he's cleaning a beach, symbolic. So you can't expect the Prime Minister, for God's sake, to go around picking garbage. If that example of his, if it's a photo shoot, people went on trolling it. Fine. I'm saying even if it was a photo shoot, as long as it bears good results.
Okay. Let me get Major Mohammed into this. Major Mohammed, so it wasn't a question I asked. It's a story that she wanted to tell as well. She said, look, I was made Minority Affairs Minister. And the immediate objection was that how can somebody from the Hindu majority become Minority Affairs Minister? She said, because you look at the post from a religious point of view. You don't look at the post from the point of view of what needs to get done. What needed to get done was that for the first time, about 4,500 Muslim women could go and visit the Hajj unaccompanied with a male relative, which has never happened before. That there is now transparency in the Hajj waiting list. The process has been automated. Favoritism and somebody cutting the line doesn't work because everybody gets an automated number on when their turn comes. And this is for they brought down the prices of the Hajj travel. They've removed the subsidy, but everything has become cheaper because more competition has come in. So the monopoly has gone. So why can't we look at the work that is being done rather than the religion of the person who's getting that done? Is there some sort of things that should resonate in that?
Oh, well, about that, Rishabh, that is, I feel the society will not change unless and until we change our own selves. The change has to begin from within, and I totally concur with the points of Mr. Alok Mehta, especially. I think he gave a very, very balanced, very, very neutral, and a very rational view. I mean, so most certainly, I feel you have to look at the performance and the delivery of what a person can deliver. I mean, not just the person's religion is so and so and so and so. And I totally concur with Mr. Gautam Mukherjee and Rajat Joshi as well. And Sumitra ji also, I think she was fine. I mean, but there are certain points which I wasn't very clear with what Sumitra ji conveyed. Like, for example, she said she spoke about the Prime Minister's qualification. I don't think it's got anything to do with his qualification at all. You don't need a qualification to enter a church in the first place. Secondly, it's not about the issue of RSS towards the people. I think it's a very normal thing for anyone to do. Today, I can go to a church, I can go to a Gurdwara, which I do. I can go to
I don't see why we should hesitate from calling it an outreach. Of course, an outreach is to be made. Of course, Major Shah's father is part of that process. And there's no reason we should be shy away from saying that that's an important process in itself. Let me quickly get in Major Shah into this conversation. Major Shah, I know that black and white conversations are a disservice, where we think that one is or the other. It's always much grayer, it's always a lot more complex and complicated, as it well should be. But you and I can predict what is going to happen next, right? This is going to be trashed as some sort of cynical symbolism, some jumla, some belated enterprise to hide real intent. All of these, the pettiness is going to come out. Do you genuinely feel that the public appetite for this is now, for the pettiness and the cynicism is now slowly dying?
Days back, we saw Qadri Saab receiving a Padma Shri for his craftsmanship. And he had been hoping for that award for the last 10 years. He applied 5 times, and when after 2014, he says he stopped applying completely. So he felt that the BJP government would not do anything for Muslims, so there's no point. He had given up hope. He got the award. And after that, the opposition came about and saying he was tutored by BJP to say this. I mean, isn't it disgraceful? Isn't it a self-goal by the opposition? Isn't it ridiculous that you are doubting the credibility of an artist, of a craftsman who is exceptional, not outstanding, he's not excellent, he's not good, he's exceptional, he's better than the best in his job. And then you say, after he is being rewarded, if you are unstoppable, no. If you are like really good at your job, no one can beat you, Rishabh. No one can stop you. No one, even if you want, even if you wish to stop someone who's unbeatable, who's unstoppable, you cannot. So that's why Allama Iqbal's, who wrote Sare Jahan Se Acha, his शेर, खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे, बता तेरी रज़ा क्या है. So that is why it holds good. And now with the very fact that you said earlier also, outreach is always good. So now the perception, the Brahm, that the minority, that anti-Christian, anti-Muslim, at least that's broken. It sends a message loud and clear to the entire country, to the entire world, that, now listen, minorities have nothing to fear. Just about a month back, my father also had gone to Mumbai, where Prime Minister Modi had inaugurated the Raudi Bora's institution, educational institution, and being the former Vice Chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University, Mr. Saidna Saab, whose institution it is, the head of the Bora community, had invited him. And there, Mr. Modi acknowledged the presence of my father as well in that meeting. So now tell me one thing, Rishabh, if, as you said earlier, being rational, being moderate, being very pragmatic, and if someone points a finger at you, someone accuses, that, oh, you are taking that side. We're not taking anyone's sides. We don't have to take anyone's sides. We don't owe anything to anyone. We don't owe any allegiance to any political party or to any political ideology. What is fair is fair.
Okay. Same Major Shah, I think we're just seeing shots of the PM. He's now arrived at the BJP headquarters. Just your thoughts that you've heard the congregation inside, Major Shah.
Right, Rishabh. I think it is. I think the Prime Minister is a great leader. Let's accept it. Let's accept the fact. And no one can deny the fact that he connects with the masses. He connects with the classes. He connects with people. And no one can deny that. It's not about being pro-BJP or anti-BJP, pro-Congress, anti-Congress. What is the fact is a fact. One cannot deny it. The very fact, even if people say that, it is symbolic or it's this, I mean, I'm saying, I don't know whether it is or it's not. I can't comment on that. But even if it is, so as long as it is getting good results, as long as the country is moving forward, as long as India has a standing in the global community, in the global country, the people overall, they are looking at India. India is Atmanirbhar today. India can stand tall on its own feet. India is no more what it used to be earlier as a fever sone ki chidiya at one point of time, right? Agree. Now, that's the mid-17th century. Thereafter, we were looted by Britishers, but now when we are regaining our lost glory in every way possible, Rishabh, I'll conclude by saying just a few days back, I was in conversation, I was interviewing a former service chief, and what he told me was something very interesting. He said that when I became the chief, I did not see that I belong to so-and-so regiment.
Okay.
I belong to the entire
Yes,
armed
and that's a
force.
point well made. Point well made. I was doing Major Shah. It's been 10 years almost since Narendra Modi became Prime Minister of this country. For 10 years, both within India and outside India, we've been told that democracy is dying, that India is in trouble, hardline fundamentalism takeover is imminent, Muslim genocide is imminent. All these are nonsense, but there are still those who are feeding it. How do we now more actively counter this attack which we are under, because you and I well know that no such thing is taking place?
Rishabh, you are right, but I totally concur with the panelists who spoke earlier, who said that whatever is there in the heart, it should be expressed. One should tell what you mean, because then what happens? Then there is a communication error. I'll give you a small example coming from the army background. That's why I'm giving an example of Agniveer. Agniveer is actually a very, very good scheme. I am a short service officer myself. I joined to serve for 5 years only. But then there was a miscommunication. There were a lot of apprehensions to change. People were very skeptical about it initially. There were protests. There were what not. There was rampage. There was vandalization. There was violence in the beginning. But now people have slowly begun to accept it. Because there is communicate. When you communicate, when you express, people will know what's there in your heart, how it is. Then what happens? It only clears the air. People who want to spread rumors about you, people who want to spread stories about you, that will not last for too long. There have been a lot of communication gaps, one has to admit that, and that must be rectified actually. Because and the very fact, when you talk about democracy, the very fact that people can say that, oh, democracy is dying in India, the minorities are in trouble, the very fact there is democracy in the country, the very fact that democracy is still alive, that is why people can say that.